Now, if you thought electrification and emission regulations would tone down all the drama around the Lamborghini, of course, that's not the case. And the new Revuelto further proves that point. It's the replacement to the Aventador and the first ever hybrid Lamborghini. Now, the Revuelto still looks crazy with all those angular elements that you know from a Lamborghini, but there's a lot more to it. Everything underneath is now different. There's a new carbon fiber monofuselage that's completely different from the Aventador to fit in all the electrical components. But coming back to the outside, you realize that all these Y-shaped elements, they're much more pronounced now. And a lot of this inspiration, at least on the front, Lamborghini says, comes from the Murcielago. Now, coming back to the chassis, the battery pack is placed behind, inside, we'll show you that later. But what you do get is a lot of carbon fiber in the front end. And there are two electric motors right here, which make about 350 Newton meters and 110 kilowatts. That's about 150 PS each. The crazy cuts and creases still incorporate all the cooling and aerodynamic requirements of a complex hybrid powertrain. The silhouette of the Revuelto is now quite different from that of the Aventador. The longer rear section is more reminiscent of the Diablo, and the engine is still on display like before. The exaggerated Y elements and a few more intricate aerodynamic tricks continue at the rear, as do a massive set of exhaust tips. Now, the best thing about this hybrid is that it still gets a 6.5 litre naturally aspirated V12, but it's not related to the one in the Aventador. It's new, light and far more compact. But it still makes 825 PS and 725 Newton meters. And combined with the three electric motors, the two that I told you at the front, and there's another one here, it makes a combined 1015 PS, which also means that this Revuelto will go from 0 to 100 in 2.5 seconds and reach a 350 kmph top speed. Among other changes, significant changes, there's a new 8-speed DCT, and for maybe the second time in the history of these V12 Lamborghinis, it's now mounted transversely in the car structure. The 3.8 kilowatt-hour battery pack also lets the Revuelto drive short distances on electric power alone. And there's no reverse gear. The front motors are used for this, while the rear motor is a starter and then used to either recover energy or add to the V12's performance with the front motors. The new architecture has carved out more space in the cabin of the Revuelto, and the ambience is now a much higher end one. There's a completely new interface with the crisp floating 12.3-inch driver's screen, the central 8.4-inch touchscreen and a 9.1-inch passenger display. As before, the switchgear and layout continue with that fighter jet-like theme, but now with easily accessed controls on the steering wheel, the central bank highlighted by the flapped starter button, and a smart continuous shift function for the gearbox. Now, the Lamborghini Revuelto is priced from Rs 8.89 crore ex-showroom. Of course, you can add all kinds of options to it, then the sky's the limit. But what do you think about it? Do you think it's a correct successor to the Aventador, becoming a hybrid much more techier? Let us know in the comments.